Do not, and I repeat, to the heavens, do not come into sliding thinking the Olympic Games is guaranteed. One, it's going to piss off a lot of people, but two, and more importantly, that's how you get hurt. You come in arrogant, cocky, you aren't paying attention, you're not listening to anybody. This is a time when you need to be absorbing everything you could possibly learn about the sport of skeleton and how you, as a new slider, can adapt to the training that's being put in front of you. There's so many different new things coming your way, and this is a different type of learning. This sport hones in on a lot of mental game. It's a lot of mental finesse work. You cannot muscle this sled. You can't do it. It's physically impossible, pretty much. You're fighting physics, you're fighting gravity, you're fighting G-force. There's so many things that you cannot, you just can't, it doesn't work like that. You can put yourself in a bad position and get hurt. Yes, you can do that. But to be successful in this sport, you cannot think you're just gonna muscle through it. In football, track and field, whatever, there's a lot of natural, physicality you can bring to it, and you could be dominant there. This is not that sport. This sport is so tricky because at the start, which is 50 meters, about 20-25 of those meters is you sprinting. As hard and explosive and as powerful as you can possibly be, and then you have to jump onto a sled ever so delicately, but efficiently, and immediately calm down. Immediately reset, get back into a place where you can kind of just focus and just breathe. And you want to flow, and you want to be able to build pressure and speed, but you're not there yet because you're in the beginning. So there's all these different nuances that you have not learned yet. So to come in and thinking you're just going to come in and take names and win shit is not going to happen. And again, I don't say this to rain on your parade, tell you you're not good, you're not going to be great. Anything is possible. I will say that. I'll be the first to say that. Anything is possible if you put your mind to it and you put in the work, if you do the work. But this is a sport that if you are arrogant and cocky, you can and will get hurt. There have been plenty of people who come to the sport making proclamations to the high heavens and crash one time and did not come back. So, I don't say this to scare you. I say this to give you a reality check here. You may have been in whatever sport you gave before, football, rugby, track, swimming, whatever it was. You may have been at the top of your game or really competitive or whatever level you want to call it. But when you come into skeleton, you are dropping to the bottom of the totem pole again. You're basically it's like someone going to your sport for the first time. Everything you do is gonna suck, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna be rough, but that's just a part of the sport. And you have to be willing to embrace that. And if you aren't, the sport isn't for you. Don't think of it as you're gonna come in taking names. Come in and be open-minded, be willing to learn, and be willing to go through and pay your dues. Pay your dues as far as learning the basics. Because if you don't know the basics, you're not going to be able to progress as a slider. And again, I'm not coming from a place of hatred, malice, disinterest, or anything. I'm coming this with love and willing. I want people to succeed. I want people to do well. But you can't come in here with false expectations because that's how you get hurt. I've had plenty of bumps and bruises. I didn't come in here thinking anything. I just want to learn something new. If the coaches told me I sucked, I probably wouldn't be here. But they're like, oh, you have some things you can work on, but you can progress as a slider. My goal here is to be the best slider I could possibly be and compete for the United States. That's really cool to be able to see you're on Team USA competing in international competition with all these other great athletes. It's amazing. It's a great feeling. But this would not be possible if I did not come in here willing to learn. I struggled for a very long time because there were certain things I wasn't understanding, wasn't clicking. So if you're easily frustrated, this is going to be a very hard transition, and it might push you to the breaking point because it's really difficult. It sucks taking these hits at 60, 70 miles an hour and wrecking sometimes because, one, you don't have the time results that you're looking for, and you leave the track with bruises for days. And some of these bruises don't leave. They stay. You scars, scratches, scrapes, all this stuff. Ice burn. This is not like a dainty sport. This is a very aggressive, can be painful, can be kind of scary looking wreck sport. And that's just the nature of it. It's adrenaline sport. So with the speed comes a lot of risk. And if you're not willing to take those risks, then it's going to be hard to stomach the rest of it. But the biggest thing to take away from this is you have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to study, ask questions, reach out, use your resources, maximize your resources. We have so many resources available now that these sliders that have been sliding for 10 years plus did not have before. The fact we have so many cameras on the track, the fact that there's track crew like constantly in the track and maintaining stuff, or the fact that we have so much video footage of races to look back and watch. It's a huge tool in our arsenal as new sliders or younger sliders that we can use and catapult us to a potentially faster track of learning if we use it properly. But if you come in just thinking, I got this, I got mines, I'm gonna do this, it's not gonna go so well. I can promise you that because I've seen it happen. I've seen people come in and scream proclamations, or not even just come in with this attitude, and I never see them again. So don't think of it as like, I have to prove something or I have to come through and follow through. Come in willing to learn. Just come in willing to learn. That's all you have to do. And everybody crashes. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It might be in a very predictable place. It might be in a place you never expected. But it's gonna happen. Whether it's on the track you've been at for years and you've, like your first time, or it's like your first run from the top. Whatever it is, it's gonna happen. And sometimes it's better to get it out of the way in the beginning so you know what to expect. Like, oh, it wasn't that bad. Or, whew, that was kind of scary. Let's not do it again. Let me fix it. Let me figure out what I did wrong so I don't do that again. But understanding that even the best sliders in the world still crash, and they've been sliding for 15 plus years sometimes. Some of these athletes have been sliding for their nation for over a decade. Some people have changed nations. Some people have went from bobsled to skeleton, or from luge to skeleton. Whatever it was, like there are crashes. It happens, and it's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just part of learning, and that's the attitude you have to have. The crash does not equal failure. Crash just means you tried something and it didn't work, so you got to fix it. That's all that means. So coming into sliding, whether you've gone for the top a couple times or this is your first time, don't be intimidated, don't be nervous or scared. Just be willing to learn. This is a great opportunity. You have all these resources, all these veterans with years and years of experience and different hacks that they've learned along the way. Just take this opportunity to absorb what you can and just enjoy it. Thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Skeleton 101. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this one, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, you can definitely leave a message in the comments below or reach out to me on social media and send me a DM. This is definitely an open line of communication. I want you to be successful, or if you just have any questions about skeleton, slider or not, let me know. I will be happy to answer them to the best of my abilities, and if I don't know the answer, I will find the answer for you. All this advice and this experience that I'm sharing, I share out of love because I want you to do well and I want you to have a great experience here. Again, much love, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more episodes.